Alright, we're getting started. So the Highborn Kitana quick breakthrough and the 2-1 string. So, yeah, I got this all set up already. Alright, so I was going around different forums on Reddit, TYM, asking about this string right here, that string and all of its follow-ups, what the purpose of it is, and couldn't really come up with an answer. Through just playing, I've come to the conclusion that it is an auto-shimmy string. So for those of you who don't know what an auto-shimmy is, it's basically, so the way you take grabs in Mortal Kombat is you let go of the block button and then you press whichever input you think you're going to be thrown. So an auto shimmy is designed so that that instance where you let go of the block button, there's an attack that hits you right then and there. More technically speaking, an auto shimmy, you would look at the second hit in the string. So like this one, for example, this would qualify as an auto shimmy. It's anything, technically it's anything between 10 and 15 frames. 15 being on the slower end, and if we look at 2-1, it's actually 17. So this could be argued that it's not an auto shimmy, but I believe it is because of the block stun that is with 2. You see, it's block advantage is 1, so because of that block stun, the game won't actually kind of register you letting go of block until that second hit of the string comes out. So it effectively makes an auto shimmy string. And the way you could test that is by going into like record, and so like I can record the string, and then I can record the grab. And okay, so the thing about auto shimmy strings is they're not really foolproof. It's basically you were looking for an animation to confirm that you're being grabbed, and you just kind of press a button. So in a sense, they can be sort of fuzzied, I guess if you want to call it that. If your reaction is like godlike and you can tell like, oh, I've been grabbed, and then you press it. Otherwise, if you're just waiting for an animation, then the auto shimmy is going to get you 9 times out of 10. We saw this in Evo with Sonic Fox and Cassie. We saw a lot of auto shimmies. They're really powerful in this game. And also, if you look at the grab animation, you see how she kind of ducks her fan like that, and then 2, in the heat of the moment, they kind of look similar. The only difference is her fan, the way it rotates, but her arm is going the exact same arc, almost the exact same arc. Whereas with 1, it doesn't really look like an auto shimmy. So, I mean, 1 will work just because the second hit comes out really, really fast. And so, again, if you were just looking for a quick, or that animation, this will probably get you. But if for a more talented player, they would probably see that first hit and they would immediately know, oh, that's not a grab. But from this first animation, they can mistake that for a grab. You see how exactly that looks alike? So yeah, so I recorded the bot, and I'm gonna hit random playback, and we'll see what happens. You see right there, I let go of the block button, and she hit me. That was bad. Right there. See? That's an auto shimmy. That's because you were just waiting for an animation and then you quickly tried to tech. So, and I've been using it online and it works great. It works just like an auto shimmy is supposed to work. Alright, so now, oh yeah, and a quick note on auto shimmies, they're not really foolproof. So if someone's like mashing uppercut, they're gonna get you because the first hit is still high. So that's one thing to keep in mind. But for Highborn Kitana, I've actually found a pretty cool way to use this to your advantage. Alright, so let's get with that. So the move that got buffed was this one right here. And you can actually, if you don't know what the buff was, so you do the input, you see she kind of takes a step back. You see her front foot kind of steps back real quick. Well, if you hold forward right after doing it, she actually stays exactly like in place. Almost exactly in place, see? Versus stepping back. So this is useful because before the patch there were a lot of inconsistencies. So I would come up with ideas and then realize on this side whatever I was trying to do wouldn't be the exact same. So it ended up being different from side to side, but this buff made things a lot more consistent, which is great. So we're just gonna go through the most basic part of this. So on hit, and Kitana has a lot of great hit confirmable strings. So this is really important for her to use Edenian razors. Pretty much no matter what side you're in, hold forward after hit. So you're gonna do the forward version, and you're gonna kind of let go a little early. And you see when you let go, the fans actually move for like a split second. So get the timing down where you can get the second fan to hit. And the hit advantage should be anywhere between 20 and 25. So you see right here, the hit advantage is 25. That's actually really huge hit advantage. You see right there, 22. That's exactly where you want it. You want to get this down. You want to get a muscle memory. Both sides. It's actually the same timing, but it looks a little different on this side. It's the same timing. And this side you can hit all three. But it's the exact same timing. You see the hit advantage right there on the bottom left corner? So that's really huge. And if you don't know, one of her best strings or one of her best moves is this one right here, back 2, 17 frame startup. And a lot of people talk about Kitana's biggest weakness is people jumping, right? People jumping and they can totally get out of her string. She whiffs the entire thing and they get a free punish. That happens a lot with Kitana. But with this variation, you can actually shut that down. So the way you do that, because we have 22 frames hit advantage, you can actually keep jailing it. You're so plus on hit, you can actually dash forward and then do this. It's insane. Oh my god, my inputs are garbage right now. You should be able to do it pretty consistently. So it's not comboing, sure, but this is actually like very real. Like they have to take this. They actually have to take all this. They can't jump out of it, they can't hit you out of it. It will keep looping unless they block. So, with that being said, if I set the bot to jump. Alright, so I'm just gonna keep jumping, right? I'm holding up. And again, remember, everyone says her biggest weakness, they could just jump out of it, right? Well, not with Highborn. Well, sure, in the beginning they can. Wait, do I have this on? Sorry, guys. She's trying to jump right now. She's being jailed. The game will not let her jump. Oh, right there, I mistimed it. Something to practice, right? And it works the same on both sides. Just to show you that it does. You don't have to do the dash up forward. I do, though. And look at this. She's trying to jump right now, you guys. They can't down one, they can't do anything. Their only option is to block. So that being said, let's say they do block. And so I like to be on this side. Let's say they do block it, right? So you do this. Hold on, make this on auto. When you get grabs. And when you can get grabs, by the way, just to show you that she's blocking. You guys already know this. And when you can get grabs, you can get auto shimmies. Very important. Very, very important. So this is kind of something you're doing a lot with Kitana. It's crazy, like insane pressure. And sure, this is when you get the hit, right? So in this variation, you're sacrificing combos for super hit advantage. Probably more than like anyone in the game. It's technically a reset in a sense, where you're super plus on hit. And this is important because now I can do so much more things. And if you're waiting for, I don't know, whatever, you can get jump ins. You can do so much with this. Now let's get on to the Sai. So a lot of people, they talk about this being your combo ender, which it does work as that. But I don't really like to use it. You're throwing them full screen. It's not the worst thing in the world for this variation of Kitana because you have a mid projectile that's actually really plus on hit. Look at there on block. Look at that. It's 22 frames on block, so it's really powerful. And if you get them to block one, So let's say I do this, and then they block it. You can actually like guarantee that second fan. Like, or it's not really guaranteed because it's a high, but sometimes it could actually jail if you do it. If you do the fan fast enough and you're in a specific range, you can actually get the fan to jail. So even if they're blocking, they still it acts as a mid almost. That's really huge. It's just that it's a little slow, and if you're up close and trying to do it in a mid block string, they can actually like they can hit you. It's not really the smartest move, but you could probably be cheeky and get away with it. Alright, and you also have the cancels, which are pretty cool. And a really important thing with this variation, so I talked about the cool things you can do on hit, right? The 22, 25 plus on hit, crazy jailing stuff. Well, on block, everyone's used to seeing this, right? But with the side, you can actually cancel the low, which is not something you see a lot. So you see how she does the low kick, you can cancel that. It's not really common to see katanas cancel it, so it catches everyone off guard. I'll do it multiple times in a match, and they still won't get it because people are so used to seeing the whole string. So you can do stuff like this. And block advantage here, it says minus 14, but you're actually, it's almost like you're plus. I mean, it gets a lot of people. That's also pretty important too if you guys don't know. Like this string right here, you can cancel the last hit of it. So if people are quick to punish you, you can try to get away with stuff like that. A little faster. Edenian Razors, this move right here can also be pretty effective on block. So you can actually make it like -3. You can make it +1 in some instances. Before patch, there were some weird times where it would be like +5, +10. It was really strange. So what you want to do is actually you want to get the last one to hit after you let go of 2, which can take some practice. You see how 0 right there? That's because I let it go a little early, and then by the time the third fan hit, Kitana had already recovered, and we were 0 on block, which is really huge. That's insane if you 0 on block from a mid projectile like that. If you want to call it a projectile. And this works on both sides. Oh, it was -5 right there. It's something just to practice, like I was +1. If you can practice this and you get consistent with it, usually I am, but it's pretty late where I'm at right now, and I was up early in the morning, so it's probably why my inputs suck right now. But you can be +1, you can be 0. Usually you're 0 most of the time. And you can also trick people, so like when you're doing this, they'll be expecting all the fans to hit, and you can like cancel it early, so you just do 2 fans, or just 1 fan. You know what I mean? Just get confusing with it. Also, so this variation, it's not really too big on combos. I think if you're gonna use Highborn Kitana, you need to be willing to sacrifice combos for this insane block pressure, this insane hit advantage pressure. Sure, it's technically not really guaranteed, but it is definitely a threat. And if people are trying to mash buttons on you, and people are trying to jump on you, if people are trying to mash uppercut on you, Kitana being +20 every time she touches you is like, it's insane. They can't roll out of it, they can't really do anything about it. They can only block, and now that you've limited their options to only block, you can get away with like really crazy stuff. So some of the corner combos, I'm pretty sure there's going to be a lot more optimal stuff. What am I doing? In the future, but I've noticed on both sides you can actually get this to combo the Edenian Razors pretty nicely. Not the forward version. That's pretty much what I've been doing. It works off jump-ins too. It's pretty reliable. Okay. Usually it's pretty reliable. Should work on both sides. Pretty solid damage. It's what I usually try to get off a jump-in, or just off. This one you have to hold a little bit longer, by the way. See right there? Same thing off your jump-in. Yeah, something to practice, right? I don't really practice this too much. I don't really believe that this variation is for big combos, but this could change in the future. Finally. Alright, and then that's also super plus on hit, like we're plus 47. You can kind of back up and, you know, try to get them with one of these, and if they block it, you should generally be able to hit confirm into doing that, or into getting your hit and then doing the Indian razors. So I just talked about that one string, so we're going to talk about the other string. So center. Alright, so this one. So this can also be used to be super plus on hit. You're going to hold forward on it. Pretty much you're always going to hold forward on it, if like mid-screen and stuff. So it's plus 20 so that you can get that to jail. So they had to take that. Again, they can only block. That was their only option there. Same thing on this side. You can keep looping that one too if you want. I like to loop this one just because canceling that low, it works so much. You guys have no idea. And going into grabs, you keep grab looping them, throw looping them. You just end up deleting their whole life bar. It's insane. Another thing you can practice is putting on like the random block and just testing your reactions. So you're really gonna get some of these in. You know, bait get up attacks, whatever. So that's my quick run through for Highborn Kitana. Oh yeah, also real quick, in case you guys didn't know, the teleport, you can actually delay the meter burn. So I see people doing this a lot. You can actually delay it like that. Sure, you're minus on block, but you actually get people that are quick to punish you, or that are slow to punish you actually. Because if they're quick to punish you, like with an uppercut, they will pretty much get you 9 times out of 10. Depending on the uppercut, I've seen a couple uppercuts whiff. I'm not sure which ones. Don't quite remember, but this will get people sometimes. And you can also get them in the air if they jump. So hold on. You know, you can actually combo off of that. That's something I'm really good at. You pretty much catch up with that. So yeah, guys, that's my quick run through with Kitana. I'm not gonna make this super long and going through a bunch of stuff with all their pokes. Although, in case you guys don't know, like you guys should be using this a lot more. Use this a lot more, because on block you actually you can kind of just do that, right? Or you can do that in the fan, which they have to block that fan. They can't really poke you back from that range, especially if we're doing it from all the way out here. Or you just kind of hold it. So you kind of have like, it's not really a mix-up, but it's sort of a mix-up in its own right. Use this poke when you guys are like in a poke war. It's not too bad. Don't really use this up close. I like to use down one, kind of like a range out here. Just if they're gonna come at me, you know, with something like that, you kind of stop their pressure like that, just like that, which is a kind of a footsie thing. But yeah, that's just a quick thing I wanted to go over. So yeah, guys, that's my Highborn Kitana thing. I know that there's going to be a lot of tech coming out pretty soon. This variation has actually a lot of depth, but I think the trend that we're going to see is not really combo heavy. Sure, there's going to be big damaging combos with the crushing blows, but I don't really feel like if you want combos, use the other variation. I think this variation is more for crazy pressure, and it's been working great. I wanted to play a couple ranked matches and put them in this video demonstrating all this, but unfortunately I'm on Wi-Fi right now. If I could be on wired, I would, but since I'm not and I can't be at the moment, I'm just not going to play ranked. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoy the video. Post some comments and let's share some tech.